Was that by design? Did you want to go into this and maybe get two and the board just didn't fall that way? Or take me through that process.
Yeah, I mean, we definitely felt like we needed one. You know, we were hoping out of the first two rounds that we would get one, especially knowing we didn't have a three coming in. So we did get that accomplished. Other than that, you know, we feel we got some guys that were on our, you know, some guys like Shavers and some of those guys on the back end, Shorter, that will be back this year. We worked out a guy today that we're going to end up signing as well. So just some different ways to add bodies. But no, if it fell that way, we would do it. There were some ones that we talked about coming to our pick. But at the time of our pick, we felt there was a bigger need when you were looking across the board. There was a couple of opportunities to take receiver or take whatever we took, but we just felt those positions were bigger needs when we took them.
Is that a position still this offseason that is still kind of forming right now?
Yeah, I would say, you know, there's several that are probably still forming. We're not going to get to 90. We'll look, but we like the group we have. You know what we've adding and you know what will be done by the time this weekend's over. But I'm not, you know, our cap is our cap. So if you're expecting something big or anything like that, there's no trade coming, nothing like that. I know everyone links us to every trade in the league, but no, we're in pretty good shape. Listen, if there's an opportunity to add someone that makes sense, yes, we'd do that.
Brandon, that 10 million that comes off because of the close June with Trey, is that strictly probably going to be used to sign this draft class, or does that give you any extra flexibility in the free agent pool?
Not a lot, you know, a little bit, but you know, we're under 3 right now. We'll get that, but you got to sign the draft picks, save for replacement costs, and then it's really less than that when you cut your 53 down. I think, like I said, last year we had to make sure we had around $4 million late August, early September when it goes off of the way that right now it's counted as the top 51. But when you count your 53 plus your practice squads are so big you're having to carry more cap money than you did pre-COVID when the practice squads were smaller. So there's not a lot there to do. Can we do a little bit? Yes.
Yesterday you had talked about maybe trying to move up early today. Was that something that just didn't work out, or was the board falling your way? Like, what was that?
Yeah, I mean, the way it fell, there were, you know, a few guys, you know, earlier in the top of the round that we said maybe we would move up a little bit, but we liked a lot of what we were going to be able to get with those picks in the 5th, so we didn't just want to, you know, kind of run through them. And we felt, I mean, there were still, you know, some guys that went off that we were like, this guy or this guy, and had some good discussions over them. We went this way, and right away before the next 5th, this guy goes, you know, so you're still like, I was hoping that guy would get to the next one. But we're really excited about the guys we got, hit some different positions, and you know, we feel we've really added some depth and some competition, and should make for some good battles.
Could you start with Ray Davis, and what do you like about him as a running back?
Yeah, I'll start with Keon at running back. He's a dog. He's a tough kid. You watch his film, like he plays the game violent, and you know, I'll never forget a play every time I see him. I think it was versus Vandy. There's a backer or a safety coming off the edge, and he's in pass pro, and he levels this dude. And I remember seeing it in the fall, and that was always the first play I thought of this kid when I saw him. He's tough. He'll add just an edge to the group.
Leaders and dogs. Seemed like that was pretty much the mindset going into this draft. Can you talk about the leaders and the dogs that you brought in?
Yeah, you know, this team is in transition. You know, we've talked about that the whole offseason. So we do want to have edge, you know, in as many areas as we can, but we also want leaders, smart, tough, dependable guys that are pros. And I think we've had a good blend of that this draft, you know, at the various positions we had. So you don't want all choir boys, but you also, you know, you kind of want to make sure you got a good blend, and that was definitely part of how we looked as we added some of these pieces the last couple days.
Brandon, if you're in the center, is that hedging your bet because you are out into more Shaboop and Connor? You don't know how that might turn out. Are you kind of like just making sure you got somebody there at center?
You know, I would say adding Will Clapp, we felt we hedged that a little bit. Who started some games for the Chargers last year, has been in the league as a backup, but we like Van Pran. You know, like really liked where his value was. We actually sent Cromer down to, you know, Georgia's always got so many guys. He went down and spent some time with him, worked him out, and came back feeling like this guy's got what we want. He's mainly played center, but some guys you go their guard position 1, center 2. We do think he is center first, but can give us some reps at guard. So it's added competition over there. A young guy that, you know, maybe in the future is a guy that could start or at least be a functional starter.
It seemed like there's a clear intention to get leaders, guys that you drafted. After all the leadership you saw walk out the door for various reasons, is that accurate to say that you focused on maybe that area a little bit extra this year?
Yeah. I mean, that's what I was talking with Mookie a second ago. Was trying to find, you know, with the transition of the team, you know, finding young leaders. You know, we've got some young leaders that, you know, that are already on the roster that will have their opportunity to step up. But beyond that, adding some guys with edge as well to kind of blend with some of these young, what we see future leaders of the team potentially.
Where do you see Clayton?
You're right.
This Travis Clayton guy, and how did you go about scouting him, given that he's from the International Pathway Program, and how different is this from, I forget his name, I believe it was Wade,
Oh, Christian Wade.
Christian Wade. How different is that now, now that you've actually drafted this guy?
Yeah, the league has really put an emphasis on expanding the game. Obviously, we're playing games over there. They're doing more programs, you know, finding these guys from soccer, rugby, the various sports. And, you know, this guy came on our radar. We sent R.J. Webb, who's one of our pro scouts, we sent him down to the workout at South Florida. We got, you know, video. We got it in front of Chrome. I watched this workout with Chrome one day after he watched it because he was like, man, this guy's athletic, obviously raw. You know, he's haven't ever seen him really truly play football, but, you know, I know he was a rugby player, boxing, and by all accounts, a great young man, and his measurables are, you know, wowing off the page. And so excited too. He was at Detroit, you know, at the, you guys may have saw it. Yeah. Yeah, you saw, okay. So, yeah, he was there. So I had to turn the pick in before I got to speak to him. Usually you talk to him, make sure these guys are alive and breathing, but we talked to his agent. He assured us he's there. And, but he was super excited. And, yeah, it gives us an international body, which can give you an extra, you know, guy for camp as well. And we're excited. Obviously, he's going to be raw. And, you know, this will be new to the game, but really like his workout was impressive.
So where do you, so he follows that, so he follows that international, where he's exempt from the roster?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did you talk to him about doing skeleton?
Of course, Joe Shane's calling me that bastard. Did I talk to him about what? I'm sorry.
Skeleton.
What is skeleton?
It's like luge, but you go face first.
Oh no, no, I didn't do that. Sorry, I mixed. I'm not trading back in. He's just being a jackass.
Speaking of trading, you made a deal today to get a 2025 pick. Now you've got, I think, 8 for next year.
Yeah.
Potentially 2 compensatories on top of that, so maybe even another 10.
Yeah.
You know, if the draft is the lifeblood of any organization, do you feel like with 10 picks this year, potentially 10 next year, that you're well positioned to kind of keep restocking with youth on this roster?
Yeah, we needed to get younger in some areas, Jay. We definitely did. I think your question is spot on. It's, you know, we did this last year, adding some picks that gave us things this year. It also gives you ammo if something happens. I mean, obviously we had to, with the corner depth, what happened this season with the injuries, and, you know, it's not ideal to have to go give up a third. We got back to 5 for Rasul, but it does give us something there if we needed to do that should injury strike at a position. Ideally, that doesn't happen, and you're able to play the year, and then go in and have 8, 9, 10 picks. But we know for sure we've got 8. We're missing the 5, but we were hoping to get the 5 back somewhere, and it worked out to get the future 4 from Chicago. And no, I love that. We need to keep adding, and hopefully, these guys work out the way we think they will. We're excited about who we got.
Could you talk about a guy like could you talk about a guy like Javon Solomon? With his skill set, do you think that that's a guy that can make this roster?
Yeah, I think he's, he'll obviously have to work and come in and prove it. He's doing it at a little bit lower level, but Troy still plays some good teams. I think he beat DeMarcus Ware's sack rate. Like, he knows how to, get to the, the quarterback. I would say one of the things he'll have to improve is the run defense. We don't play we kind of thought maybe 3-4 teams would really, value this guy, but he was just too valuable from a rush standpoint. And so that would be the area he'll have to improve, a lot like a Kingsley Jonathan has to do, kind of an undersized guy, but he's got great arm length, measurables, and, you can't deny his sack production. And so we're excited to get our hands on him.
Just a clarification on John's question. Sorry about Clayton. I know he's exempt from the practice squad. You get a 17. Is he exempt from the 90 as you go through this as well?
Pretty sure he is, Sal. I'll get that confirmed, but yeah.
Do you have to draft him to do that? Could you sign him as a?
No, you could sign him as a free agent. Yeah. No, if we didn't draft him, we were going to recruit him, but down there we were scared we wouldn't get a shot at him. Hardy, yes, Hardy for Hardy. That's what we were laughing about up there. Yeah, yes, for sure. He would be. We really liked his return skill, and then compete as a back end corner.
Hey, Brandon, obviously an interesting last 8 to 9 weeks, starting with departures and additions. Is there anything you didn't get to building this roster that, either money-wise, draft league-wise, that you still want to do?
I wish I could say I checked everything and I could just go on vacation, but no. I mean, Ryan, I think we've got some guys. We've added some depth. We've added some competition, some pieces. We're not going to be at 90 by the end of this, so we're going to keep looking and see what's shuffled out of over the next couple of weeks. Maybe some vets get released where they were over drafted over by a team or two. So we'll see there, but we're going to keep spinning this roster and see if there's a few pieces between now and camp. I don't position by position. I don't know. You're never happy. You're never content. Like, we got it figured out. But I'm excited about the way the board fell. I wasn't sure if we would be fired up for every, all the 5s into the 6s, and they were all still on our board in good position to take.
The guys that you selected participated in the Senior Bowl. Can you give us your perspective on how you use that as a tool to evaluate?
Big fan of the Senior Bowl. I think we've had you go back and look at since I've been here, we found a lot of players in the Senior Bowl. I love it. It's an early chance to meet some of these guys, and Cole, Carter, several of these guys I remember personally. I don't get to meet them all because you're kind of going through, but just those 2 guys in general stood out as pros. And again, you're getting to go down there and see them in one-on-ones. It just I try to scout as many players as I can. I'm obviously hearing from what our scouts see, and I'm watching film, but that's a chance for guys I may have missed live to at least see them in a practice, see them go against guys at their level. Solomon, was another one. So, love the Senior Bowl. That's why we make sure I'm down there every year.
We talked to you about the draft philosophy every year, and you said in the past, like those first 3 rounds, you're really following the board, being more need in the back end.
Yep.
Is there anybody that you got on day 3 that maybe you had one of those earlier round grades on that you're like, man, I'm thrilled that we got him here?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know that we got anybody in 3. We definitely, in the 5s, we got some guys out of higher round, but I don't think at 4, who we that was Ray Davis. So yeah, we had Ray a little higher than we got him, but not not all the way, another round difference. But he was a guy we really had targeted. This running back class was not deep at the top. It was kind of thin at the top, but we did think once you get into mid 3, to 5, they're going to start going. And I think 4 backs went in a row around when we picked Ray. And so we,
He was what you were talking about 5 minutes ago, right? When you said Keon?
yes,
Okay.
yes,
Double check.
yes, definitely that's who it was.
Can you give us a little rundown on Tylen and Eddie as well?
Yeah, so
About those two.
Grable, very athletic player, played skill positions before moving to tackle. Just one of those guys that I think people finally convinced him, like, dude, you could make a living. You may not be an NFL quarterback or tight end, but if you can keep growing and getting your size, he's got very athletic feet. He's got to work on his strength, his power. Still raw at the position to a degree, but a lot of traits, to work with, and so looking forward to getting our hands on him. And then, which was the other one? Oh, UFO, yeah. Really smart young man. Played at UW, tough. We think he can play Will first, and then he could also be a backup Mike for us in time. He's got to learn everything. I'm not saying year one, but I don't know exactly where we'll start him numbers-wise if we start him at Will or Mike, but we do think he would be an interchangeable player once he gets the defense. And then fourth down value, like long arms, he's another guy that, as we learn this new kickoff, we think that body type, arm length, things like that to help shed and make that play.
Brandon, you weren't kidding.
You weren't kidding about Keon making himself feel at home. And I mean, he was talking about where he shopped for his jacket. He shared a cookie. He was wowed by things. What is it? What is it that struck you? You talked about hearing him in the cafeteria.
Yeah.
When you were up there. What is it that strikes you about this 20-year-old who seems very football savvy and knowing stuff, but yet is an outgoing 20-year-old?
Yeah, I mean, I love that he is a multi-sport athlete, like playing at a high level. Some people played baseball or something else, but they weren't that great at it. Like this guy was really good. I think those skills that you have in both really translate, especially to his position as receiver. And he's just got an edge. You guys feel it, a dog. He's 20 years old, and I just feel like we can, with the people we have in this building, separate of his coaches that are going to make him better at football, I think we have people that are going to continue to grow his explosiveness, improve all his, his body. He's still growing into it. He's not 23 or 24. Sometimes we are. This is a 20-year-old young man that I think is still ascending. And he and I talked about that today. If he will apply himself, not to just, he doesn't need to learn the playbook and not to just all the routes he's going to run, but apply himself with the resources we have in this building, I think we have something that's going to get better and better.
I just have a follow-up on that. And what about his personality? How do you I'm not sure if you can even rein that in that sense. How do you like his, what do you appreciate about his personality in that sense?
I think it's Buffalo. It's very much in a in a similar fashion. Maybe comes off, maybe delivered differently than Josh. But when I sat down here and told you, you're going to like Josh Allen, separate of the quarterback, just who Josh Allen, he's Buffalo. Like this young man is Buffalo. He really is. He is a dog. He's going to love to compete. The fans are going to love him. He's probably going to talk a little bit. He's got a confident swagger, and he's not afraid, and he's going to jump right in. And, obviously he's going to have to work hard and prove himself. We talked about that as well, and I know he spoke with Sean, and Sean reminded nothing's given, everything's earned here. We're not just going to drop you in, and you're not going to be a guaranteed starter. You got to earn everything, but I think he's excited about that challenge.
You drafted a 20-year-old and then 2 24-year-olds. One's going to be 25. I know it's about maturity, right?
Yeah.
There's also a shelf life in football. How do you weigh that? How do you balance that when you're looking down the road and those kinds of things?
Yeah, I think you're considering it all. There's value in both. There's value in a 20-year-old who you think physically has not hit his ceiling, that you can, getting in your system, your weight program, the things that you do, that you can make them, physically growing or more explosive or more powerful, whatever their position is. But there's also there can be growing pains with that too. These are, he's not even 21 yet, so he's still maturing as a young man. And then you see a guy like Dwayne Carter, I mean, again, we met him at the Senior Bowl. I'm like, man, I wrote down on my notes, this is a grown man. Like, he's going to walk right in the door. You're not going to have to tell him when to be here, what to do, who to follow. Like, he's ready to roll. So there is power in that, too. And I think it's like we talked about with leaders and dogs. We need a blend of that. We need a blend of youth, which we've made that transition this year with our roster. But you need veteran leadership, and some of that can even come in, this rookie class. These guys blending together. They'll do a lot of things together as we onboard them here starting this spring, the transition from college, to pro.
Keon saying that, he has to earn this role, nothing's given. How do you balance that, though, with there has been so much turnover at wide receiver, and there are people who need to touch the ball? Like, how do you make sure he has time to transition to the NFL, but also face the reality of Josh has to throw to someone?
Yeah, I think we have player. I do. I know it's, star power, name power. Maybe we don't have that everywhere, but I think there are some guys on this roster that are going to push. Like, he's not going to be given anything. And would we love for him to hop in and take the reins right away? Yes, but he'll have to prove it, and it's not going to be easy for him.
Brandon, do you ever think about drafting a quarterback late in the draft, considering where Josh Allen is in his career? You don't necessarily need a veteran to back him up. Do you think about that?
We do. We talk about it. We talked about it today. We really did. I think part of it was just what was on the board at the times of those picks. We just felt like, man, you're when you get down there late, Josh, you're looking and you're going, is this guy pretty surefire to make the team? Is it 50-50? It's him and this person, assuming everyone stays healthy. And so you're weighing, and that's how you're weighing which position and things like that, the traits. And so all those things, but again, I think also with the quarterback, how many are you going to keep? Is he going to make the team? And if he's too highly valued across the league, if you don't keep him and you cut him, that comes into it too. And we really look at obviously everyone here knows who Mitch is. You've been around Shane a little bit too. We kind of look at Shane as a guy who, a late round type player who has some moxie to him. I'm excited. We didn't get him till this season. I'm excited. He's kind of, for me, to see him get reps. And this kid worked his tail off this year, and it's hard to distribute 4 reps for 4 quarterbacks this day and age. Back in the day when you had 2-a-day practices, all that stuff, you almost needed 4. Now it just becomes like the guys watching so much, assuming they're all healthy, it's hard to evaluate. So here we've generally tried to stay, other than the COVID year, we've tried to stay more at 3.
Can I back you up to the trade for just 1 second? Training for a wide receiver, that's another storyline over the last week where fans have been really talking a lot about. There was a report out yesterday that you guys were potentially interested in Debo, and I think you said it. You were always tied to all of these different trades. Is it impossible to do because of the cap situation, or you don't want to do it because of what it could mean in the future years?
Yeah, I mean, well, right now we have, like I said, under $3 million in cap space. So if we could get Debo here for under that, I'd do it. But I don't think that's realistic. And you're looking at all these new deals. I have, whether it's his name or someone else that potentially are on the trade market, look at all these new deals recently. They're hovering around $30 million. So trying to fit that in with everything we're doing, I'm not sure is reality right now. And but we like who we have, and we think the group we have count. And to me, you got to remember to count tight ends. Like, let's don't forget we got Dalton Kincaid and Dawson Knox, Q Marsh. Like, those guys can catch the ball too. We got some backs that can catch the ball. Like, you're allowed. People are just looking at just the receiver room. Look at those guys. They'll be very integral parts as well, along with the receivers.
It feels a little like this time last year we were asking you for weeks and weeks about the linebacker room, and you were kind of the same there. Like, we like the guys we have, and Terrell obviously turned out to play the way he did. Do you feel this is kind of similar? Like, there's stuff you're seeing in the receiver room behind the scenes. I know you just mentioned tight ends, but where is the confidence coming from and feeling this way about the room?
Yeah, I just think we have a lot of guys that are hungry, and they see the opportunities, and they've been working. I told you a couple of the names, Justin Shorter, Tyrell Shavers, I think has been here since the season ended. Like just a lot of guys like KJ Hamler, coming here, who was a former second-round pick, had some durability issues, and has kind of worked on his body and we're trying to make sure he can not have the strains or some of the things that have happened to him. But we think we have guys on here, along with all the names that can come in and compete, and some different things, whether it's KJ speed, Justin and Shaver's size, Mac Hollins. We just added Keon. Like, we think we got some different pieces, and we're excited to see those. And like I said, doesn't mean we won't add something else. We're going to continue to look and see what we have once we get done with this post-draft process.
Last year when you took Dorian, you talked about the complexity of the defense and how it might be an adjustment for him. How would that apply to a guy like Cole Bishop? And how much does that weigh into all of your decisions when taking a guy offense or defense?
Yeah, it's Cole is at a position that you do have to. He's going to have to know a lot, and the safety position takes. You're the quarter. The middle linebacker is probably the true quarterback of the defense, but you're the quarterback of the back end back there, the back seven, and so he will have a lot to learn. But we think his DNA, his intelligence, super smart by all accounts at Utah. We spent some time with him, our coaches did, and this guy knows ball and seems like he's a quick processor and understand. He'll have work to do, and he'll need reps on the field. Very good, very fair question. It'll be how quickly he can get it, and there'll be some trial and error. We got some guys in Taylor Rapp and Mike Edwards here that he'll learn from, and we're not just we talked about Keon. We're not promising him anything. He's gonna have a hard time starting the beginning of the season, but we'll see how it all shapes out. We told him today, like, hey, everything's earned here, and so just learn the playbook, follow the vets, and your opportunity will come.
When leadership is such a big standing point for so many of these guys, how do you evaluate that? Like, obviously, some people were captains multiple times, that's clear, but, like, what do you do, whether it's in interviews or during the process, to actually be like, okay, yes, this is the kind of leader we are looking for?
I think just you can get the feel. You talk. Obviously, we know going in, it starts with our area scouts who, really did do a good job of digging this background. And you're right. It's more than just. Was you a game captain? Were you voted by your teammates? Were you voted by, like, how was it? Did the coaches select you? What was the process for you to be called a leader of the team? And then we ask questions. We get a feel. Another thing we do, especially these schools that have a lot of players in the draft process, tell me who led. Who was the leader of your team, or your leader of your offense or your defense? Who do their teammates, say, lead? And if they're telling you that the guy was the leader and not saying themselves, I think that tells you all you need to know.
Outside of Keon, a bunch of these guys are 23, 24, kind of in the older range maybe?
Cole's 21, right? Yeah.
I have a couple of them,
Yeah.
maybe more today. They've been kind of on the older side. Is that like guys are staying in college longer?
Yeah.
Or things you're looking for?
I think we're finishing up that whole COVID run and NIL. NIL money is guaranteed money for these guys, and they're getting $500,000, $1 million, and when you're weighing, am I going to go be a 5th, 6th round pick, or get this guaranteed money, play college, see if I can improve my status, or I want to go win a title, whatever their situation is. I think that all weighs into it. I don't know if that, as COVID is completely in the rearview mirror, I don't know if that will continue to stay, but I do think there's going to be more people staying longer, unless they're going to be a top, 3 or 4 round pick.
Out of this draft class, how many guys do you expect to make an immediate impact on this roster?
Out of this draft class, as far as like back to free agents, or like, you talking about
Potential starters or, top reserve type of.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know number wise. Just looking at the names, obviously, the guys we selected yesterday, we'll just start there. I think all 3 of those guys are going to have roles, assuming they earn everything. And Ray Davis should hop right in. And when you start going down after that, Van Pran as a depth player, the UW linebacker, not pegging him to start, but the fourth down value that he brings right now while learning backup spots. So I think they're going to have their roles as you go further down. It's a harder ladder to climb, but even in the sixth round, we're looking at these guys. Felt like, hey, this guy's got a chance, and then you go down to our international guy. I'm excited to see him and meet him and watch him move. Man, he was his film on a workout was pretty cool.
Joe Hardy is a slot-only corner, but he has some variation.
Yeah, I mean it's probably with his size, it's probably position one. We'll probably look at him out there too, and see. But yeah, I would say that's probably a more natural position to play inside.
Brandon, you always talk about asking why guys transfer in this day and age. They do a lot. Javon didn't. He stayed there
Yeah.
at Troy, and he talked about how it was important to him. The commitment, team, family, stay in a small school, didn't go to Florida State or Alabama. He was from down there. How much does that matter to you, too, to see a kid like that staying where he is to build what he started?
Yeah, I think nowadays, Sal, you ask every player because it's almost, well, why did you stay here? Especially I'm sure Alabama, Auburn, other schools in his area were after him. Like, we could use this pass rusher. You love that. You see some loyalty. We saw some kids. The Bears took the Yale tackle, and he, same thing. Like he had schools all over him. There were some other players that coming to mind that everyone's got their own story and why they stayed or why they left. And so you also want to know, just like you want to know why guys transferred twice, why didn't you leave? What was it? And it's cool to hear guys who are like, no, they committed to me. I'm committed to them. I'm going to see this through.
Hey, Brandon, with Clayton, with the arm length, the athleticism, and everything, is he one of those guys where you start him on the outside and then move him in, or what's kind of the plan?
Yeah, I would say offensive tackle. We'll start him out there. We'll get a feel for where his power is. You definitely want to make sure he can anchor his feet in the ground inside, and just that size in there. I think it's naturally, but he can bend. So I'm not saying he couldn't do it, but I think naturally his starting positions, Jay, would be swing, left, right tackle.
What about Craig?
The same, very athletic. Not a power. There were some guys that we thought were less athletic that had some more power that we were looking at in the draft that even went earlier. But I would say that'll be what he's going to have to continue to work on, his lower body strength, his power to move guys in the run game, but has great feet, for pass pro.
I read he was a high school quarterback. He threw for 3,000 yards.
Yeah, no, that's what I said. He's an athlete that people kept telling him, hey, if you want to play at the next level, you need to. He went to tight end and then goes to offensive tackle. So still a developmental player, but smart to play those positions, and we're looking forward to working with him.
You mentioned with a couple guys today, like how with the new special teams rules that how they fit into those. Do you feel like that did impact who you ended up picking because you were looking for different qualities maybe?
Yeah, I think definitely wanted to add a linebacker with some size. He's got arm length. He's firm on contact, like to play that. And then the return, the return was getting out of the game, so I don't know that we would have worried about a returner, but that definitely given the Penn State young man a look of this guy can, play one of the backup corner spots, but also he's a really nice returner.